Hello, Carolyn.
Hello, Summer.
Welcome to this very special episode of Fearless Rebel Radio, and welcome to your opportunity to share your story with the world. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Well, thank you. I am very excited. It sounds awesome, but it's funny when I say hello, Summer. It's kind of what I say around July in this neck of the woods. So
I've never heard that before.
No, I bet not. Right.
So why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about who you are, where you live, who is Carolyn?
Carolyn Rutley. I'm almost 48 years old. I was carded not that long ago, funny enough. So, I know. More on the guy's part than it was on mine, I'm sure. I live in Edson, Alberta, so northern Alberta. It's a very oil and gas, male-centric town. So, I cut quite the figure being all colorful and whatnot, but feels good. I'm an IT consultant. I'm currently working for one of the airports here in Alberta, and I'm a rock star. So
yes, you are. And speaking of which, so obviously for people that don't know, Carolyn was part of the Rock Your Body program in the spring, and you're here today to just really talk about your story, because I think that your story is so inspirational, and I know that it's going to help other people, and I know that that's something you really want to do now too. So, which we will get to. But why don't we turn back the dial a little bit, and why don't you just tell everyone a little bit about what were some of the frustrations that you had with your body image or with the way that you felt about yourself in the past?
Okay. I hated everything. I mean, I'll be honest. I hated myself. I hated how I looked. I hated my closet. I hated my feet. I hated you name it. There was nothing redeeming. I don't know what my husband saw in me when we met, but that's kind of where it started, because he was like, "You're beautiful. You're fine." I'm like, "No, I'm not," because in my mind, I didn't fit anybody's ideals, whether it be societal or parental or friends. I looked different than anybody else. I felt different. And I figured it's that whole thought of, if I looked this way, then everything would be perfect. And I could never get that way. It didn't matter what diet I followed, what exercise program I followed, what I did. I couldn't stick with anything. Nothing was sustainable. And of course, that was all my fault, or so I thought, right? If I was better at this, if I could do this, if I could lose the weight, if, then I'd be good. Because I was fat and I was heavy and, I didn't have proper clothes, and I heaven forbid spending money on clothes, right? A $10 men's shirt at Walmart was, oh my God, I'm going to spend this and have something that sort of fits, because I wasn't worth anything. And that was my thought. That was my belief for years and years and years.
Yeah. And that's pretty overwhelming.
It sucked, and I have to be honest, there was always something kind of in the back of my head that said, this isn't right. How you feel isn't right. What people are saying isn't right. You'd walk down the street and be called, whatever the word is of the day. I'll let you fill in the blank. And you'd think, you're right, but you know what? I'm not that way. And deep down inside, I'm a good person. I'm worthy. I am worthy of your time and your attention and of being talked to. And the outside world didn't allow that. On the flip side, I also didn't allow that for myself. So it was me in a little box, in a little bubble, not doing anything I wanted, how I wanted, dress what I wanted, do what I wanted, because I didn't think that I was allowed to do that, being the size I was.
And what was that like for you?
Overwhelmingly sad. Like I felt that if I could just look a different way, then I would be happy and that I would be loved. I didn't feel like people loved me or even liked me. I was tolerated, or, oh, it's the big loud lady is coming. It felt unauthentic, and it didn't feel right. It just felt wrong. Like, this isn't how I want to live my life, and this shouldn't be how anyone should have to live their life.
Yeah.
I deserve love and beautiful things around me and beautiful people around me and humor and lightness. It was just so dark, and it was a dark place to be and a dark place to live.
Yeah, but what's so beautiful about that is that you came to that realization that you did deserve it. And so what prompted you to want to make a change, to see that within yourself?
I really do think that I thought somewhere along the line that what I was doing wasn't helping. Didn't matter what I followed, what I did, nothing felt authentic and right. It just felt like I was following somebody else. And maybe I'm not so much a follower as I want to be more out in front of the pack. So why am I following you? Why are you telling me I can't eat corn? Like, what kind of thing tells you not to eat corn? This isn't right. Something isn't right.
Corn is so good. I know.
Right? I still can't get enough. Every night, a corn on the fucking cob. Like, it's just, and so it was like, this can't be right. You can show me all the science and this and that, but it's no different than when I went and bought a car. So this dealership says, I can show you this book and this award and this and that. And it's like, and I can walk across the street and this company can show me this award and this book and that. Stop. I've got to figure out something that's going to make me feel like me. You know, when I was eating packaged food or when I was, following a list of 100 things I could eat and not eat, nothing felt right.
What was a real turning point for you?
One of the big ones that I remember, I was reading in bed one night on my iPad, Health at Every Size by Linda Bacon, which still makes me chuckle when I think of her name. Sorry. Because that's fantastic, right? I want the last name, chocolate or something. So, but in all seriousness, I was reading the part when they were talking about weight loss surgery and, removing of the stomach or stapling it and all that stuff. And there was a link that you could go and you could read people's experiences with it, and they were, for lack of a better word, horrific. It's in the book, so I feel I can say it. People, dying from it. They have what they call a puke bucket that they carry around because they can't keep food down. And reading about these people that were even, dying because of this. And there was a part of me while I was lying in bed going, but maybe if I did have the surgery, I could at least get thin. Wow. I would be thin. So that kind of took me back because I really realized at that point that, so you'd rather be thin than alive. Okay. Like, that's how I kind of equated it. That, I could finally be thin and it didn't matter what I had to go through to be that way. And it took, this whole journey took on kind of a new meaning for me because then I knew that ain't right. It is not, that can't be how I would want to live my life.
Yeah, that was the wake up call.
Right. It really kind of was because I was lying. I remember thinking to myself, well, yeah, that happened to them, but maybe it wouldn't happen to me and maybe be successful. And I could lose X amount of weight in the triple digits and then, woohoo, but that's not what it was about. So I reread it and then I knew that I had to embrace this because if that was my thought, where it was, I really would rather be thin and sick and possibly die, that was okay. My brain was messed up and I needed to get rid of all that external shit that had filled my brain, thinking that it was okay. At least you were thin, even if you were dying or dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And funny enough, I think it was February, up popped an email for the Women's Strength Summit. And there was a little blurb that just said, it's about being strong and it's about being, I can't even remember the words, but I thought this looks interesting and it seems like it's a different approach. It's a lot of women talking and a lot about strength and what you can do as women. And I think, men can do it too, but for me, it spoke to me that this isn't maybe a diet or an exercise program. This is more of a way of life.
Right.
So I thought, well, why not? Nothing, just another thing. We'll try it. We'll listen to some of these women. And and that's where it took off. And I listened to a few and then you showed up and I actually never got past you. to be honest. It stopped there, and I was like, I gotta look up this woman. She seems pretty cool. And it took off from there, because nothing that I did or I looked or I heard when it was in regards to this didn't seem real. It felt like I could do this, like it was attainable. Like, even someone telling me at some point you will love yourself. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But maybe, and it was that little bit of hope that I said, this is worth a try. I've tried everything else other than surgery. What the hell? I might as well try this too.
What spoke to you about that?
That it wasn't don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It was, do this. Do like, these are good things. Let's promote ourselves. Let's look at doing things that we like to do that are good for us and our mind, not just diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's all we've been shoved down our throats, eat this way, exercise this way, do that way. There was never anything else. Mm-hmm. So this was a whole different take on it. And it was like, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I can learn something new.
Yeah. Why did you decide to then, fight for yourself?
I think for the first time, I realized that maybe I'm okay the way I am. By listening to you and some of your links and some of your podcasts and just the body remix and some of the things that I was reading on the Facebook page and from other fat women, was like, well, if you're okay and you kind of look like me, then maybe I can be okay. And what you're saying, just to listen to the words and go, every body is beautiful, right? It's a body. It's all it is. Health doesn't matter. And reading going through the Health at Every Size and reading the books, the things that I've never even remotely thought of before, just kind of flipped everything over. And coming from the parental and the society of, you can't be fat and beautiful. You can't be fat and good. So when I would look at books like Health at Every Size or the Body Positive, it was like, well, that's just an excuse to be fat, and what do they know? Because nobody told me any different, right? I was a sheep. I was following all the other idiots going this way instead of going that way. Right? You
were a sheep, but you say it never felt right. No. Can you just talk about what you mean when you say it didn't feel right?
I'm not sure how to explain it. It was just always, okay, here's another diet. It was almost like, well, the last 6 books I read didn't work, so I'm going to do this, but they're basically kind of saying the same thing. Well, this one's not going to work. So if none of this is working and I still don't feel better about myself and the miracle cure and this diet isn't right, then maybe it's not about that, because nobody I watched, I followed this diet, but I put the weight back on. I followed this, I did that. And it was almost like no one around me was successful. Nobody around me had, I would get emails all the time. Hey, Carolyn, I'm starting this. You should start this with me. Hey, Carolyn, let's do this together because you should be on it too. And nothing ever worked. So it was like, until I see some proof, what are you guys all giving me except telling me it's the number 1 diet plan and the number 1 book and the number 1 this, and we'll give you a life. Like, why do I have to work and lose weight to have a lifetime what's the word, like it when you don't have to pay, you get a lifetime membership to a diet company? Well, if it works, why the fuck do I need a lifetime thing? I don't need to go back if it's going to work, right?
Yeah. Good. Fair point.
So it never felt that there was anything out there that was working for me. And after a while, it was like, is it really me? Am I that much of a failure? And am I that much of a loser? And am I that much of a no willpower that all of these don't work?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure.
So you fought for yourself, like you were done with the other thing. And I think, you mentioned you're 48 years old, which is, it's never too late to get to this realization. Some women, it happens when they're 22, which I look back on
God,
and I think,
I
oh my
so.
God.
Right? Please. Yes.
Yes. But I love that you still came to that realization for yourself and decided, what did you decide you wanted? Like, what were you ready for?
I was ready for the no more feeling like I was useless. Because damn it, I'm not. And I knew I wasn't. I knew I was smart. I was successful. There were so many good things about me, but all of my effort and time and energy was to finding the right thing that would make me look different. I was tired of it. I was tired of waking up every day going, okay, I'd really like some Frosted Flakes for breakfast, but I better have my 1 egg and 1 piece of bacon that's turkey bacon. Whoever invented turkey bacon should be shot because it's not a thing. Just saying. Like, why should I have to think when I wake up exactly down to the, like, it was the time and the effort. And though I have to go grocery shopping because I need more snap peas, but I can't have corn, but I can have peas. It seemed like it was just too much. And I was tired. I was tired of all of it. I was tired of printing out the grocery list. I was tired of highlighting the book. I was tired of carrying a book with me or a scale to the restaurant. Like, and watch people half my size ordering plates of wings with blue cheese dressing. I don't even like blue cheese dressing, but I'm like, I want some. I was tired.
Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah.
I was
and
just,
what did you want to feel?
Free. I wanted to feel like, I wanted to feel free, and I wanted to feel like I wanted to feel like I was okay being me, the real, authentic, true me.
And
that wasn't
freedom.
me. That's the freedom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so what were some of the stepping stones for you on your journey?
The first stepping stone had to be willing to take the chance, because this was radical. This was,
yeah, you're telling me.
Like, I'm not, yeah, right. I didn't tell anybody. I'm like, okay. And I told my husband, I'm going to be listening to some things. So go away from the office for a while. And he's like, okay. And then I said, I was following you and reading what you had done in your book. And then you had this Rock Your Body. And I was like, okay, am I going to pay for something that I have no idea what the hell is going to come out of this? And I thought, if I were to think of how much money I've given to, well, you know what, I'm just going to use names. Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, the books, the Whole 30, the amount of money I have spent walking into diet centers and on prepackaged food and on expensive sprouted pumpkin bread as opposed to buying a bun. I thought, if I can do that, this is worth one more try. It really is. So I hooked it up. We got together, and I had to have faith in something. I had to believe that if this wasn't going to be the thing, then maybe the next thing was. I couldn't give up on myself anymore.
Yeah.
Because really, it felt like every time I dieted, I was just giving up on myself. Okay, well, here's another diet. I was never excited about going on something because I knew it wouldn't work. So maybe this would. And then your program came, and you came, and the other people in your program came, and it was kind of like, I'd found a home. I'd found somewhere where I belong. Even if people didn't look like me or sound like me or live like me, at least it was like, oh, you kind of get it. And, oh, this sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so what was that like for you, going into that, and what started to click for you? Yeah. Okay. So what was hard about it?
It was hard because it was so different. I'm like, I can eat whatever I want. No, that's not right. You're just kidding. I know. Okay. Right. So it was a complete reversal, and that was hard to implement. Because it was like, okay, well, now I can eat anything. Well, now there's no control. And then, putting some weight on, some extra weight again. And it was like, well, now I'm worse. That was there was a part there where it felt like it was worse, but it still felt right, if that makes any sense.
What was feeling right about what you were doing?
The freedom in my brain.
Okay.
I had all this time in my head. Because it was like, okay, it's lunchtime. Okay, just eat what I want. Okay. And half the time I didn't know what I want. I still don't know what I want. But it was like, well, maybe I don't want to eat at all. Okay. Or it's, 3:00. Well, now I'm going to have lunch. There was so much freedom and relief in my head that it's okay to do what feels right to me, to my mind and my body, and really listening to what I wanted as opposed to what somebody else told me I should want.
Yeah, and did that come to you from a body perspective as well, like the way that you felt about yourself?
It didn't. I still didn't like my body.
Yeah.
But in your program, and I don't know if this is the segue into that, but there's a part in your program where it was learning to love your body as it is now. And I was like, no, again, because really, to be honest with you, I fought you every step of the way. You might not have known that, but it was like, no, that ain't going to work. Sorry, girl, that is not going to work.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it did. I can appreciate my legs. Yes, I had someone tell me, well, your legs are like concrete. I can crush probably watermelon with my legs. Like, they're strong, so I can appreciate that. And all these parts of the body. And I remember one time we talked, and I couldn't love my whole body because there were things about it that don't do anything. And I remember saying to you, what do I do about this area here? Right? The fat that's under the armpit. Like, there's no good comes of that. It doesn't do anything. And you said to me, well, it's part of the body. It's there. You don't have to love it, like it, whatever. But maybe you give no thought to it because it doesn't matter. And that has stuck with me for months now. And it's true. I don't think about this. I put my bra on. I put my clothes on. It's there. I don't sit there now and hold it and go, oh my God, it's horrible and I'm horrible. It's just, it's there. And I move on to the next thing I want to think about.
Yeah.
And that's astounding. I mean, the hours I would spend, oh my God, my knees are fat. What the hell does that even mean? Who has fat knees? It's a bone, right? But I would be, oh, my knees are fat. Every single part of my body is fat. You know what? I have fat. It's a descriptor. It doesn't mean that's how I feel anymore, right? I can feel heavy, and I can feel, maybe sad that I've put on some weight, or I can feel different emotions, but I don't feel fat anymore because it's a word. I have fat. You bet. So what?
Yeah. So let's really contrast like what you notice that's different about you now. Especially, I want to come back to these feelings of unworthiness that you spoke of, but that you were having before. What's different for you now?
The true deep belief that I am lovable, that I am worthy, that I am welcome to all those beautiful things that are out there that I had limited myself before. There's no more limits. Yes, there's like, for instance, I can't zip line because I'm too heavy to zip line. To be honest with you, I have no desire to zip line whether I'm, the size of a toddler. Doesn't matter. I'm not doing it. But I give myself that freedom that if I want to color my hair, I'll color my hair. If I am taking up space because I'm allowed to take up space. I'm big, I'm loud, I'm funny, I'm all those things, but it has nothing to do with my body. And before it was like, okay, well, I've got to wear the darkest clothes and the smallest things. And, if I go to a party, I got to sit in the corner, or I'll take a chair instead of a couch. Because if I sit on the couch, two other people can't sit. Right? Those are all those things I would have to think about. You know what? If I want to sit on the fucking couch, I'm going to sit on the fucking couch. And if you're going to squeeze in beside me, well, let's just get comfy. Because I don't care anymore. It's the freedom to say, I'm authentic. This is me. Take it or leave it. And if you don't like me, that's okay too. Because there's a lot of people out there that will. And living that authentic life where you really know that you're okay just as you are, I mean, there's nothing better. There's nothing better except maybe a really good chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Just putting that up.
What have you been able to do differently now? Like you mentioned, if you want to sit on the fucking couch, you sit on the fucking couch. You want to color your hair, you color your hair. Like what else have you done?
Oh, my closet gone. I mean, I think, what was it, 14 bags or some intense thing? I went and I bought clothes. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I was able to go and almost rebuild the wardrobe. But to wear something bright, or to know that if I walked into a store, I could say, do you have this in this size? And if you don't, fine, I'll go to the next store. to be able to say to the haters out there, I'm not going to feel bad because of how you feel. That's your shit, not mine. I'll get on a boat, I bike, I'll go walk. Before, I'm like, oh great, the fat lady's walking around the neighborhood. Well, I can't do that. I've got to do it on the treadmill in the basement. I get up in the morning now, hair all over the place, t-shirt, shorts, out I go. Because if I want to walk, I'm going to walk. I don't let anything hold me back just because of, like before I did, because I didn't feel like I should be doing stuff. There's no more should or shouldn't. If I want to do it, I'll do it.
Yes. And how does that feel, like, to get all the should and shouldn't baggage off your shoulder and all the not caring what other people think?
I don't know if there's words, Summer. I don't know if there's words, because you can use freedom and greatness and happiness, but it's just it's almost a sense of peace.
Yes.
Right? I think of the time I went not that long ago to buy a pair of tap shoes. Now, I'm a size 11 foot. I am a heavy woman. People who you think of tap dancers and dancers, I'm not the type going into the store. I went in, no holds barred, and I said, sell me some tap shoes. 7 minutes later, I walked out with a pair of tap shoes. I never would have done that. I would have ordered them online, and then if they didn't fit, I would have said, well, that's too bad. I've got them now, but they won't do anything. No, it's just that freedom. I keep going back to the word freedom, and it really is. It's the freedom to do what you want, still look after yourself. It's not a free-for-all that you can just... You have to do what feels right for you.
Yes.
And that's what it comes down to. And if you want to work out, great. If you don't, great. If it's your health and your being is with your doctor, and that's it. And your body is just your body, and embrace it, right? If someone wants to look sideways at me going down the street, well, okay. That really is learning that it's about them is the key. It's not about me. It's not about me, because you don't know me. So if you're going to judge me on how I look, bring it on. Come at me. See what happens.
And I feel like those tap shoes, that was a real highlight moment for you.
Totally. It really, because I took a class with a friend. I think I worked it out 12 years ago. And I used sneakers the whole time I was doing running shoes. And the one lady said to me, the instructor, she goes, you know more about tap than I do. Because I'd done it for years and years and years. And it took me 12 years to go into a fucking store and buy a pair of shoes because I was too worried about what somebody would think or the comments that they make.
Yeah.
So to wait that long, I mean, I'm down there almost every night now in my garage doing the same 15 moves over and over and over because I can't do much more yet because I'm still, I'm not very fit, so I'm trying to gain some strength. But, and if that's all I do for 2 years is the same 15 moves for 20 minutes a night, I'm happy as anything. My husband comes down, he records me, we laugh, we have fun. What, can you ask for anything more? No way.
So how is your life different for you now?
I am immensely happier. And when I say happy, it's not just I woke up happy today. It's that innate sense that I'm okay. I still have shitty days. I cry. I do whatever. God knows, There's days I wake up and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. But you know what? It doesn't last because I know that, okay, I'm gonna live in this upsetness or this misery for a while because it's how I'm feeling. But I know that when I come out the other side, I am a good person. I am lovable. To feel that you can be loved and you're worthy of love. I don't even know how to express the words for that because I never had that growing up. I mean, until I met my husband, I didn't even know unconditional love. And we've only been together for 7 years. So feeling like I truly deserve love and I deserve respect and I deserve, you might not like me. You might not tolerate me. You might not like a single thing about me, but damn it, I'm a human being. And for that, you will have respect. And I feel like I could conquer the world. I really do.
Wow.
I do because, I'm not going up no fucking Mount Everest because that's just insane in my mind. I don't get it. I know you climb it because it's there, but come on, like baby girl, that's ridiculous. But if I could, I feel like I could do anything I want to do. Right. So
Wow.
if I want to help somebody, if I want to do something, I'll do it. And what I do in the privacy of my own home and with my body and with my doctor is nobody's business but mine. And that's okay.
That's amazing. You're so amazing. You know, when you first, when we first interacted on the first, the coaching call, like you were always on the coaching calls, which was really cool. To just be a part, I'm just so honored to have been a part of your transformation.
Oh, well, thank you. I remember the first call and you said to me, what do you want to hear? And I said, I just want to hear that, that I love you. And for me to really feel like I love myself. And I remember crying and thinking, oh, I can't look at myself every day and say, I love you, because I don't love me. I can every day now. And that's you and your program and this body positivity movement and all the people out there that are believing in this and knowing that we are okay. For someone to say, well, if you lose weight, you can do this. Like, do I seem like I need more energy? Do I seem like I need to do this or that? Back off. I know what's best for me now. I didn't before, but I know what's best for me now. And that would be, you mentioned, I was always on the coaching call. And that's what, if anybody's watching this or listening to this and going, should I do this? There's two things. Yes, you should do it. I don't care. Beg, borrow, steal. Do this with you because it's so amazing and important. And the second thing is, there's lots of stuff to do in it. There's lots of missions. There's lots of this. But if nothing else, get on those calls and get that coaching with you and listening to the other girls. That was the powerful part. That was so important because the writing can only do so much, at least for me.
Yes.
But being on that call and listening and really feeling what the others were feeling and being able to open up to you, that was what made it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that's what worked so well for you. That's amazing. I mean, I loved being a part of it with you. I'm so honored, that we have this relationship now that, you're just someone who's in my life and I just love it. Like you're such an inspiration and I don't have enough words to express the gratitude. It's just, I just love you. And I thank you so much for coming here to share that.
Well, thank you. And it really does go back that way. I don't know. I would hate to think what the last 6 months would have been without this. I'd be sitting here feeling the same way. So I feel you've gone from kind of the coach, mentor, whatever, that there's a friendship there, that there's a kindred spirit.
Yes.
Right? That I could ask you anything. I feel you could ask me anything. And just being able to have that relationship of someone who gets it, right? Because not a lot of people in my current situation get it, from being told to, well, if anyone should be on a diet, it should be you. Yeah. Great friends, right? No longer friends, but you get it, and being surrounded by people that get it and helping me get it, what can't we do? So the honor goes right back to you, and the appreciation is, I'll never, ever, ever be able to repay you for helping change my life. And I can say that without contestation.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. We are going to meet in person because I know you're coming to the retreat. So I'm going to just bowl you down with hugs. But, as we wrap this up right here, I would love you to offer, what's one piece of advice that you have for other women listening?
Oh, just one piece. Oh,
I know you have a lot. Well, you can talk about what you're going to do. You can, tell me.
Well, I'm going to start my own blog and website. I feel that everyone out there who is on this has kind of transitioned and done this. I'm still a work in progress, and I would like to bring people along with that work in progress, to hear my good days, my bad days, and maybe give voice to the women like me who don't have that voice, who aren't that comfortable being the crazy extrovert that I can be. But the one piece of advice is try it. There's nothing that says you have to jump in with both feet. Bring me a toe. Bring me a toe and I will maybe get the foot in and maybe the ankle. And you may come in and go out and go in and go out. But if something hasn't worked for you, why do we keep doing it? Because that's the definition of insanity. So just try it. Give it a shot. Come in with an open mind and an open heart and see what these women and what we're going through, because it's almost like just the freedom to be yourself. And if that doesn't excite you, then come in and see what it is like, because that's the exciting part. It really is. Being yourself and the authentic person that you were made to be, because you're fantastic just the way you are.
Yes. Yes. And as you said to me earlier, like your mantra for yourself is, I want to show women if I can do it, they can do it.
Oh my God. And I used to hear that on diet sites. Well, if I can lose 212 pounds and you can lose 10. Well, yeah, but but it is true. It's that whole almost fake it till you make it. Because when I first started this, I had one foot in, but I tell you, I had one big fat ankle out. I'm like at the sign of the first thing wrong. I'm bailing shit, and I never had to. And just, it's like anything. Try it, fake it till you make it. And if I can be positive in this body, and I can be, with my upbringing and my background where nobody loved me, if I can get to this stage in not that long a time, oh, come along for the ride, because you can do it too. I have faith in every single person out there, for sure.
Yes. And so do I, which is why I, always had your back and believed in you and everybody else from the start. Cause I just know, know, I see it. I see you as this like powerful woman. I talk about your superpowers. I picture you just like, cutting up the world and making it into this really awesome place with your voice. And, and again, I just thank you so much. And maybe we should just mention your chair, cause I didn't.
Oh, yes.
So cool.
My Debra Lazy Boy recliner. It's, and it's mine. All mine. Hubby has his own. I have my own.
It's so great. Well, I love you, Carolyn. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story. I really appreciate it. And we're going to be seeing more of you now that you are going to be sharing your voice with the world. And I will share your blog when this goes live, because your blog will be live when this goes live. So I'll link to that in the show notes and everything else as well, so people can find it. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Summer. And thank you, everybody out there. And, keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on. Yeah.
We'll
go with it.
Right?
Rock on.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Okay.
Thanks, Summer.
Thanks.